Talking about intimacy, Bible style, God has something in mind for your romantic relationship with your spouse than merely a physical, sensual pleasure. That's a part of it, but there is something far more profound involved. Your intimate relationship should actually be the culmination of the rest of your relationship. And if the rest of your relationship with your spouse is not operating biblically, then the intimate part will be failing also. That is why intimacy is born outside of the bedroom. That's right, sir. That act begins long before Saturday night. It is the entire week. Until you and I get a handle on that, both genders, by the way, we will never fully appreciate what God intends for your romantic life. Rick Thomas said this: a poor sexual relationship is a symptom, not a cause. The cause is outside your bedroom, and if the cause is not fixed, then your sexual experience with your spouse will never be right. Now, here's some great news. God can fix it because God specializes in fixing sin problems, which is the root of your intimate issues. Intimacy is an extension of who you are as a couple. So if your intimacy is not right, then there are things in your marriage that are not right. Are things not right in your bedroom? Then might I suggest you stop focusing on that room in your house? If things have not been what you've wanted them to be, whatever gender I happen to be talking to right now, it's almost certain that you've been focusing on that act or that time together. How do I fix it? How do I make her more responsive? How do I make him stop being so demanding? Instead of focusing on that, start focusing on everything else. An illustration for your consideration. Suppose Alan slapped Joyce, his wife, across the face at 5 p.m. It's now 10 p.m. and Alan is interested. Do you think Joyce can freely give herself to Alan? Sir, we can get that analogy, can't we? But you and I don't need to physically slap Joyce. We can put up an emotional barrier by being cold, selfish, disengaged, uninvolved, not talkative. All of those things can be like an emotional slap in the face. And you say, well, that's not such a big deal. I can handle those things. Well, maybe you can, sir. But the ladies are less inclined to just, whatever. Women are more emotional. Men are more physical. Now, here's the good news. That should pull men out of ourselves towards something better. All the jokes have been made about women being all emotional, which they are, and men focusing on the physical. That is actually a good thing for us. Here's how it works. You see, ladies, they're more interested in bonding with you, having couch talk with you, sharing their innermost feelings with you, doing life together with you, being engaged and involved in the children with you. On the other hand, we fellas are more interested in pretty much one thing, and that is physical. Now, remember the garden. It is not good for a man to be alone. Now, that does not mean that a man and a woman are not separately good, but together, it's even better. And that goes for the issue of intimacy. You see, we fellas, we just focus on physical, predominantly. But ladies aren't as excited about that aspect of it. They want more emotional fulfillment. So if a man would like to participate in that activity with that woman, what must he do? Option number one, demand it. Force her to do that. After all, Paul says that our bodies are not our own. Well, that's one way that we could do it, or there is another way. We could actually work to serve our wives, fulfilling their emotional desires so that they desire the physical act with us. That way, both parties benefit. You see, we become better men by serving, trying to focus on helping them, desiring to be a part of everything that they're doing so that their emotional needs can be satisfied. It makes us a better man, and it allows her to participate in that physical act more. It's better that way for both of us. Tell me that God isn't brilliant. And that is why it is not good for man to be alone, and that fulfillment doesn't come from a buddy or our football guy that we go to the game with. All very fine activities. But for doing life and for becoming a better man, we need a woman. And madam, for you to participate and enjoy that activity more, guess what? You need us. Tell me God isn't brilliant. Christian men should never get lucky. Christian men should earn it. The world, with a crude statement about getting lucky, should never be the mindset of the Christian man. Instead, God left his throne, left the praises of angels to come and serve me, to die for me. Now, having received all of that goodness and all of that kindness, I turn toward my spouse, who is my one flesh partner, and I should have the desire to treat her the exact same way that I have been treated. And when we do, guess what? A woman is more inclined to give herself to her husband. That is how you go about fixing the broken problems in your bedroom, by focusing on your relationship outside of the bedroom.